And welcome back. This is episode 176 of NooBTooB, a weekly independent podcast where I'm getting really freaking frustrated with Mass Effect 2.
What, dude? Did they fix the elevators? Are they too slow this time?
No! Come on, you stupid bitch.
Well, I don't understand. They fixed the inventory stuff you hated. I mean, what else could possibly be wrong?
Well, I've been trying for like 2 hours to get a lesbian sex scene with that saucy little tattooed psychopath Jack, but I can't seem to find the muff diving button.
Dude, that's ridiculous. You're missing the entire point of the game.
Come on, Shepard, assault the felonious bearded clam.
Can we just start the show?
Munch her criminal carpet.
I'm Yuzo Watanabe.
And I'm Tobin Kozair, and this week we're talking about Mass Effect 2 and No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle.
That's right, there's colon in there too.
Yes.
And our new releases include Tropico 3, White Knight Chronicles, Star Trek Online, and S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Call of Pripyat. That's my best Russian accent I'm going to be able to do. And by the way, the Munch Clam button is up, and you have to hold down the right trigger.
Oh, damn it. I thought it was up, up, down, down, left, right, left.
That's if you're good at
that's
it,
right,
actually.
That's right. I had a desperate struggle with my colon this week.
Ding, ding. All right. You need more fiber.
I do.
You gotta just get more fiber in there. So Mass Effect 2. It's really funny because it's like as we were talking about Mass Effect, I'm like, I had all these complaints about Mass Effect, and I'm like, yeah, dude, you're right. The elevators were slow.
Yeah.
I don't like the combat, and the Mako sucked.
Oh, and there's the inventory management.
Yeah, all this other stuff. And like, what's funny was somebody called in saying like, I actually went back and like quoted me saying how awesome Mass Effect was, and I'm like,
not only did they quote you saying how awesome Mass Effect was, they pointed out that you put it on your Game of the Year list.
I did. It was like number 3.
Son of a bitch.
And here's the thing,
above Uncharted. Dumb shithead.
I don't know if it's the fact that it's just like over the 2 years that Mass Effect and Uncharted have been out, you just kept them drilling to me. Remember how good Uncharted was? Remember? And fucking Mass Effect sucked! Right? It's like, I don't know if it's like that or seriously, like these glaring faults really over time really outweighed the benefits of the game. Because the game, you gotta admit, the script was awesome. It was so cinematic.
Right.
It really felt like you were there. All that other good stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I wanted to like it. I mean, I really wanted to like Mass Effect 1, but it just... The problem is like, we can talk about all the faults that it had, but for me, it just came down to it that I played it, and, I played it for hours and hours.
Yeah, I put at least 8 hours.
I turned it off, and every time I thought to go back to it, I was like, it just wasn't, nothing ever pulled me back into it. Like, nothing drew me back into it.
So not even the world, not even, like, the history and all the different aliens?
Because it was like slogging through mud to get to it, and it was just like, all of the resource management with the battle system, all of this stuff where it just, like, I always felt like I was fighting with menus and managing inventory and collecting Mako.
And there was a lot of combat. I remember that, too.
There was.
And I think that was the thing, too, because I remember you complaining about it. We reviewed it, and I went back, and I played some more, and then I got to the stretch where I was doing all these side missions, which really weren't like, moving the plot. But it was like Mako combat, Mako go through
alien planet.
Yeah, and just like at some point I was just like, fuck this shit. And I stopped playing. But I still look back on it thinking
still loved it. You still you wanted to like it so bad. So
I did.
So all of that aside, so now we've got Mass Effect 2.
Yes.
And I was really worried that it'd have all the same faults as the first one. People would be like, oh, the story's great, but blah, blah, blah.
I wasn't excited about it at all, right? I was just thinking like, Mass Effect, I'll rent it, whatever. But, we actually ended up going and buying it.
We went and bought 2 copies of it, and... it's fucking awesome.
So all the complaints we had with Mass Effect 1, every single one.
It seriously, this is such a great example of developers going back and listening to their community. And I mean, they went and looked at all the old reviews, and they probably went on their forums. They probably did all these things. They probably listened to beta testers, and they're like, what sucks? What sucks about this? And we're willing to throw out big things. Like, it's not like we're going to fine-tune a couple screws.
We're not going to make the elevator a little faster. No, they changed it a lot.
They did. And, I mean, so what are some things that they changed?
Well, some of the big things. So one of the things I thought was really interesting was the inventory system. The inventory system in Mass Effect 1 was terrible.
Yeah.
I remember you had, switch between different characters and make sure all these different weapons. I'd almost go as far to say in Mass Effect 2 it's too simplistic. Almost. Because right, I mean, it boils down to every single character has the same weapons that they can use. So if you get this one weapon, everybody has a choice to use it.
Right. Well, I mean, there's some characters that can use like sniper rifles that other people can't. I mean, like there's some things that they can or can't use.
But so for example, like the pistol slot, right?
Yeah.
If you get a new pistol, every single one can use it. You don't buy it. You buy the research so that you're, whatever you're.
So I think that is fucking awesome. Like, to me, there is no way that that's too simple. Like,
really?
Because the thing is before each mission, you can take each character and suit them out. So it's like, this guy gets a grenade launcher, but this guy gets a sniper rifle, this guy gets a pistol, this guy gets whatever.
Well, no,
like, once you start getting more weapons, you only get to pick.
Oh, I see. For that particular slot, because it's not even that. It's like, this guy can do heavy weapons, this guy can't.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're right. Within the heavy weapons, it's like, okay, this guy's going to get the missile launcher, this one's going to get a grenade launcher. So, and that's interesting.
But I mean, I really don't enjoy the kind of RPG, like you have this much inventory and you're like, oh, but this weapon has a 7 against armor, but it's a psionic of 4. I don't know if I should use it against this other one.
Really?
I really, the way that they did this, what kills me in a lot of these games is you start off and it's very simple and I'm having a good time, and then like 20 hours into it, you've got this like 75 set piece of armor and like 50 different weapons to choose from and 40 sonic powers. You can only use 4, so you have to map them into these slots. You have to decide which ones you're using, and eventually I'm just like, this is so micromanagey.
But you really like the idea of collecting loot. You like the idea of Diablo, where really it's just like, holy shit, you get this new weapon that does 5 electrical damage.
Kind of. I mean, like,
so did you really lose that?
I like the fact that they've been fine tuning it in games like Torchlight, where you're not just like kind of like always trying to carry stuff. You're just basically shuttling it off on your dog. Like it doesn't always feel like you're balancing it as much.
But you still have to pick between it's true. So
it's a different kind of game.
Take like MMOs for example. Like it's all about loot, and that's really like the kind of main thing you do. Do you think you lost that sort of like drive?
Not to me. Not to me. I mean, like, to me, the drive for me is so much more story-based that I feel like it might have been distracting to keep the whole thing... you're getting
fucking
glitter
jewels!
off. You're getting jewels.
This is terrible.
Our pimp cups are falling apart, man. Like, shockingly, we paid, $30 each for them, and it's just like every time we wash them, there's gems falling out.
I think I swallowed something, too.
This is like a beat-up, 80-year-old stripper from Vegas. She's like, I'm still hot, honey. She's got, saggy, pierced nipples.
Hey, dude, for considering our pimp pumps, it actually makes kind of sense, I think.
It is. It is just like that. But, I mean, so
you don't... But I'm asking you, as a gamer, do you think you lost the loot crack thing? Because seriously, for me, that's what I miss. And granted, they didn't do it to such an extreme that I'm going to ding the game for it. Because look, they have so much complexity in other areas that it's okay in this case. But did you lose it?
I might have. I mean, if you look, there's games like Darksiders or Ratchet and Clank where you end up collecting a lot of things, but you're not having to choose.
You're right.
It's additive.
You have 8 different versions.
Yeah, you're like, shit, I'm going to go to the boomerang, then I'm going to go to this, then I'm going to go to the scythe, then I'm going to go to the sword, whatever. And it's just
true. And you're
I'm not discarding a sword to get a scythe. It's just they add it up together such that you're learning all of them.
And use them in different ways.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I kind of like that better.
Because, if you think about some of these games, with Mass Effect and all that, you have 2 slots, and those are all you can use.
Yeah.
But this one, they're like, guess what? You can use them at any point in time. You just have to choose before you start the mission.
Right. And sometimes in the middle of a mission, you can find a locker where you can switch out weapons.
Which is actually kind of cool.
It is cool.
So I'm not going to dig it from that, but I look at that and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. It's not really an RPG. It's less RPG-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's more R. You know what I mean?
More than G. So you got a really big R. Yeah, I agree.
That being said, they've taken what combat there is, and they've made it really interesting to me.
It's really good. Surprisingly good.
It's one of these things where I feel totally engaged in every fight because I know that I could fight every fight differently. You can try and keep the high ground, you can run around this way, and what they've done is before you'd always be holding down the right shoulder button, and you'd pop up the menu, you're like, could you freeze that guy and then float that guy, whatever, but this one they let you map it to hotkeys.
Yeah.
So you just look over there, you're like, float that guy, do this, where you're never pausing. You can you can if you want, but you're just running around. I like to stay in the heat of the moment.
Interesting.
I try not to pause very much.
So you've actually mapped it. So what is it? So basically, I think everybody gets 3 potentially 4 different attacks.
Yeah.
And then you can
freeze people. You can light them on fire. You can float them. You can blow their shields.
So my understanding is the left RB and R, you can do to your own.
Yeah.
So to your own biotics.
Yep.
And then what is it? Directional?
The directional left and right is 1 power from one guy and 1 power from the other.
So just one. So you've limited it down to just the one key power that you really care about, so you can do it in real time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, like, sometimes I'll go. For example, one guy has, floating. You can float the guys, and he'll have a fire power too. And it's like sometimes I'll hit the right button and use the fire too.
But like, how often? Like,
not much.
Not really. So like, for me, I'm playing the game, and I'm like detail micromanage, and I love it. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going, and I'm like, okay, this guy over here, there's two guys coming. I pause the game. I turn around, I fire this guy, I float this guy, and I do that. And and I let go, and I shoot. And I do it again. I just constantly I'm pausing the game,
and it works both ways.
It's great.
It works absolutely both ways. So they've made the combat work for super anal people and people that are not super anal.
People that just want to play the game.
I really do. Like I get into the moment in the battles, and I really like. I mean, there's this thing. This is not really plot related, but there's this guy. So you're basically collecting party members, and there's this one party member.
Yeah, I want to talk about that at some point. Yeah,
but you're going down to collect this one party member named Archangel. And it was just, there was this cool thing where it's like some guys are running into your base and you're trying to shoot them before they get in there. And like, I would run back and float some dude and then run back to the front and like shoot him mech and switch to a grenade launcher. And like, I'm just like frantically running around. And
because I would actually let my AI go. So the AI, I think, is much more improved in this game.
It is. Right?
So there's parts where you are like you're saying, you have to go to different areas and all this other stuff. And like, okay, I'm going to sit and snipe. I'm not going to worry about those guys. And those other guys actually end up taking care of it, or at least holding them off for a little while.
A lot of times they do really well. Like, I don't feel like I have to babysit them. It's only more of, sometimes there'll be a bunch of guys coming, and I'm like, I want to target this guy, so you need to like light that dude on fire for me. But generally speaking, like, I'll notice there's been a couple battles where I'll go off one way and my dudes are kind of watching my back.
Yeah.
Because there's several ways for people to get at you, and you run up this way and you look back and they're like fucking fireballing people and throwing shit off ledges.
And the only time where I actually find that really where it's screwed up is where I pause the game or I do something and I just go way, like, because I'm a stealth guy, right? Yeah. So I do the stealth and I run behind everybody.
Right.
Sometimes I'll run in the midst of them.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, holy shit, my guys are still going. But it's my fault.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'm totally cool with that. So which character are you playing?
The engineer, like the tinkerer or whatever it's called. I forget.
Is that the stealth guy? Do you have the stealth too?
I haven't been. No. It's
no. You have the combat. You have the combat.
The
drones,
combat
right?
drones. Yeah.
How are those?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually don't use them very much.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, like I find myself not using them all that much. Like I've just I probably should just pick like warrior.
Probably not Vanguard, it's like Enforcer. Yeah. I forget, but there's a bunch of different classes. But I have to say, like overall, the shooting feels a lot better to me. It feels more almost Gears of War-ish.
A little bit. I mean, like you really feel
stuff.
like the headshots count. You really feel like you can kind of switch between weapons. You're like, well, that guy's got a shield, so I need this gun to break his shield down. But then this other thing is good against like psionics, whatever.
Yeah, you can switch weapons at any time, and it feels really good. So it's really awesome.
And the story.
Why, you want to go there already? Okay.
Where do you want to go?
Because I want to talk about those guys. The fact that you're collecting people.
Okay.
This is something that I'm not sure if I'm going to ding it.
It's like the A-Team, man.
I know.
You're like, play demolitions expert. This guy is good with knives, and he's like,
This guy's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of gold chains.
His name's Murdoch.
But like seriously, like they have dossiers.
Yeah.
You're going to do, and really like big parts of the games are really you finding these people.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to a person who's really close to the end of the game. Guess what? Most of the game is you finding people.
You collecting your,
and there's
your
like
team.
A few main plot storylines.
Yeah.
But majority of, so not only do you collect everybody, and I don't think I'm giving away by anything, hopefully this.
Probably not.
But like, it's so regimented that, okay, you have these X number of guys, missions to collect them, and then missions to gain loyalty.
Oh.
Every single one. Granted, the missions are different, but that's the thing. So I go get the guy, get his loyalty up. Go get the guy, get his loyalty up.
See, but
finish the game.
But the thing is like the way that I've been playing it so far, like you could think about it that way if you're thinking about it in terms of game mechanics.
Yeah.
But
they hit it. You think?
I think they hit it. Like I understand that it's there, but I mean, for me, what's been happening is I've just been like, I've been flying around, and I know that there's missions out there.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes I'll go to a space station and then just wander around and talk to people and find side missions, and then I'm like, I'm kind of done here, and I'll get back in my ship. And I'm like, oh, if I'm going to go over to that planet and mine for some shit, I'm like going around like
do you actually do that?
I'm not going to do it much more.
It's not a very
really
good minigame.
Bad minigame. Like there's this minigame where you're basically collecting elements or whatever to upgrade your weapons and shit.
Oh my
so you're basically just like holding your thumbstick and moving a little cursor over an entire planet to mine.
Until you see a thing go up, and then that's when you throw your probe, and you get minerals.
That's a bad minigame. bad minigame.
And the fact that to get, really, I mean, you're not collecting that many resources when you're doing missions.
No. You're going to have to do that game a lot if you want to upgrade everything.
And seriously, I spent at least 45 minutes last night playing that game because I wanted the next weapon. Because I'm like, fuck,
wow.
I need 15,000 iridium?
Wow.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's a bad game. I don't like that
and there's also other mini games which I thought would get kind of annoying after a while. The code. So there's the things where you're unlocking stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and straight out say all the mini games suck.
Yeah.
They're shit. They're
really bad.
Dog shit.
Like BioShock's one pipe game was better than all these.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, this game is not perfect. Like, I love it a lot. I really, really love it. But I mean, it's just like there's some warts. I mean, like, the mini games are so tacked on that they could have literally just removed them and be like, hack a wall safe by clicking A, and I would probably enjoy it more than hacking a wall safe by mousing over a couple things and then playing like fucking what's it called, like match 2, whatever.
Yeah, it's a concentration.
Concentration. It's not hard to do. There's no skill. There's no anything.
And the thing is, like, you can end up getting some benefits where, like, guess what? You get more time to do this. Like, I don't want more time.
Yeah.
I want a button that lets me skip it.
Exactly. Like, I want to skip all that shit.
And they did that in Mass Effect 1 where you were using metagels. Remember that? It's just how does metagels help me unlock shit? It's just like, what?
They're like, stop asking questions. These are not the droids you're looking for. But so the point that I was making, though, was that the way that I've been approaching it is this world is mine to explore. And, you know, I've been collecting teammates, but I've been, you know, doing these side quests, and, like, sometimes I'll just fly between place to place and just kind of land and check shit out. And to me, it's been an adventure where I'm just like, I wonder what the fuck's going to happen on this prison ship. You know, like, ah!
As opposed to, I have 8 slots of companions or whatever, however many it is.
Like, I understand the mechanics, but I think that the way they're doing the story is very organic.
And I definitely agree with you, because for the most part, like, I'm like, really? That happened? When I'm talking to the guy, and I'm like, I don't really feel it yet. And I'm just worried that, that's going to be the sort of theme, but it's just like every single thing. Like, when I'm collecting Jack, I'm like, whoa, what happened? This happened?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's very interesting.
Yes. It's kept me on my toes. Like, there's been a lot. There's a lot of little surprises, a lot of interesting conversations with people. Like, a lot of times I'm the kind of guy where it's like there's a plot in a game and I'm like hitting A to skip.
I don't do that with this game.
Not this. I mean, it's all really well voice acted. You start to care about these people. You start to wonder what makes them tick. You know, you're just kind of wandering around your ship, and everybody's interesting.
And it's almost to the point where, like, the ship is still a little bit annoying, and such that there's 4 different levels, and you have to take an elevator. Yeah. And it's not as bad as it was before, but it's a little long. It's like 15 seconds or something like that, right? But it's gone to a point where I'm okay with that, because I know when I go to this place and I go talk to the professor, I go talk to somebody else, I'm going to get more story. Yeah. And there's a few people I'm like, I want to know what this guy's all about. Yeah. Because it's great writing. And
they've made a big effort to, like, this is one of the things, is like the load times when they exist are long. Yeah. But they've made such a great effort to say, you know, the load is going to earn you something. It's like, it's not one of these things where it's just like you're like running here and you know that from get to point A to point B you're going to have to go through like 4 elevators. And you're like run load. Like, this is like an instance where you load for 30 seconds, but then you get to play for 30 minutes.
And a lot of playing time. Yeah. Like, where you're doing combat, you're either talking to a bunch of people, and when you're talking to people, there's no load time.
No. None at all.
None whatsoever.
You know, and like, and so you can walk through an entire level, go through 20 different battles,
shop,
go to different conversations, do all these things, never load. Yeah. So I really didn't mind.
And the only time I'm noticing it, seriously, the only time is on the ship.
Yeah.
It's just like, I look at the ship and I'm like, really?
Isn't that weird? I don't
get it. Because,
exactly. Yeah. Like, the ship could have just been one load. Yeah. They could have just loaded the whole ship. Like, it's as big as these other levels you go into. I mean, I'm not going to, like, the engineers that worked on this obviously had a reason, I'm hoping. So, who knows? But
I mean, the thing is, they can do stairs on the ship because there's one level with stairs. Yeah. And just like, well, why can't I just walk up?
Whatever.
So there's, again, like, really minor stuff, and like, I feel so engrossed. I feel pulled. And what's interesting about Mass Effect for me is that, how Dragon Age has that mental weight?
Yes.
I don't have that with this game, and I think it's because the combat's much simpler. And the fact that I don't have to worry about inventory. And the other thing that's simple is the character progression. Guess what? All of your companions level up at the same time. Yep. The exact same time.
And if you want to be really lazy, there's an auto level up button. I know. I haven't been doing that. I've actually been putting points wherever I wanted to put them. But I mean, the point is like, this game makes a big point to get out of your way if you want it to. If you're just like, I would like to walk around and talk to people and shoot some shit, they're like, knock yourself out.
I mean, if you're going to compare it, right? It's just like, here's BioWare, right? Okay, we're going to make Mass Effect and make the R really tiny.
Yes.
This big.
Yeah.
And you go Dragon Age, guess what? The R is fucking, falling over and taking over the other part.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's a good mix.
It
and
is.
they do right for both of them. So
Yeah.
I think that's really awesome.
And honestly, like the complaints that I've got about it have just been what we've talked about so far, where it's just like the mini games are crap. There's really not, and there's several times where I wish the world was more fleshed out, but I know that my expectations are a little bit unrealistic just because of how fleshed out it is.
I know.
Now I just want it to be perfect. Where it's like you'll be walking around and the story behind the people you do get to talk to is so good that I'll be walking around like, man, I wish I could talk to more people. Like, there's so many people just kind of wandering, and I just like want to be able to interact with them or shoot them.
You know what they're going to say? Why don't you pay $15 a month and play Star Wars? Knights of the Republic?
Yeah,
because guess what? Not every. Yeah.
You talk to everybody?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but basically they're going to make so much content and record so much thing. It's going to be at least bigger than Mass Effect, right?
That's true.
So interesting.
Oh my God, is this game good? Like, the thing that I just really want to stress is that it feels good. Like, we've talked about these details, but like, I was up until 3:30 last night just playing where it's like I close my laptop lid, like I don't want to talk to anybody.
I turn on the lights.
Yeah, you turn on the lights, and you're just like, I am in this world, and it is fascinating.
I know, and it's just like how like you watch TV, you're watching Star Trek, you're just like, I wish I could be there. I wish I could do that. This game transports me to space.
Exactly.
And I am there. I'm talking to all these fucking aliens.
Yeah.
And they're all like the professor. I wish they would have made more of him like him, because I just want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I want to find out what he thinks, and he's so hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
He
oh.
talks like William Shatner, the alien. It's pretty funny. It's like, my God, I don't know what I'm doing, Jim.
But yeah, it's excellent.
Yes, so
so
get
awesome.
it right yesterday. So next up is No More Heroes 2. Desperate Struggle.
Yeah, so we liked the first game a lot.
We did.
A really lot. I mean, what was it? It was just like fresh.
Yeah.
The combat was really interesting.
And it was very irreverent. Like the thing that I really like about No More Heroes is that it's very self-aware. They'll make these jokes about the video game genre. They'll kind of they know all of the other video games they're kind of referencing, all of the anime and movie stereotypes they're
like
referencing.
Otaku culture.
Yes.
They really dived in deep to that, and like I think it's kind of alien to some people, but they actually made it accessible, right?
And that is a common theme to what will be the review of this game, is that I cannot fault their ideas. Like,
I can't fault their sense of style.
Exactly. The sense of style, their ideas, their creativity, the variety of things that they've thrown at me. Like, everything about this game is seriously genius.
I know.
In terms of ideas.
Execution on the other hand. Oh, I really want to love this game. I really do.
I tried so hard to love this game. It's just
they fixed some of the other stuff from the other one, though.
Big things,
like the open world. We hated the open world.
It was garbage.
It was pointless.
Yes, yeah,
so
you would basically the whole world. You just wander around, and it was literally a ghost town. There's nothing in it, and then there'd be occasionally like, oh, here's a mini quest. Here's a little game. Here's this. Here's that.
Now you have a map with little dots, and you pick them, and then you start the mini game.
Yep.
Better, I guess.
Yep, way better. Way better.
A lot of mini games too.
Yeah, they've added a lot more mini games where it's like every time you beat an enemy, they're throwing more mini games at you, and the mini games have this great old school arcade 8-bit sense of humor. Like each one is kind of a
NES game basically.
Yeah, it's an old NES game.
And they're really well done. They're funny. I'm laughing. I'm like, it's really awesome. And I'm playing it for about 15 minutes, and I'm like, wow, that was cool.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to go back.
You don't want to go back.
It is one of those, like, it's just kind of like a snack mint, like an after dinner mint. You're just like, nah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was cool. And like at the end of it, I kind of want to just be like,
yeah,
bravo!
Good job.
Like, that was funny. You guys did a decent mini game. It was a reference to something I think is funny, like one of those old like Spy Hunter games. Like all these other things. And you played it, and you're like, I get it. I'm not going to try to get that much better at it.
I'm not going to do it again to get money. Like,
no, but
the next time I do it, I'm going to hate it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them. And they do throw a lot of them at you. And then there's the combat in between.
The rest of the game. So the rest of the game is the combat very similar to the first one. The first one, it got tedious pretty quick. This one,
it made me stop playing the game. Actually, in the first game, and it's making me do that for this one too.
Yeah, it's the thing is they didn't innovate at all, right? Like the combat is exactly the same as the first one. It's basically you can charge up your lightsaber, and you can do like kind of a high hit, low hit, and a kick.
Yep. And most of it's button mashy for the most part, which is good, because if you're just doing this the entire time, I would hate it.
Which you do a lot in terms of... The problem is a lot of times you'll hit people, and it'll go like, blah, blah, and then you have to do a special attack to... So it's just like, you do this, or this, or this, or this, and then just kind of doing the arrows. So what I did was I plugged in the classic controller.
Oh, so how does that work?
So it's actually a lot better. So the classic controller... It's just kind of, like the buttons to attack, and then instead of having to swing, it'll be the two rotating sticks you just go...
that you're actually using to move, too. Oh,
so you just kind of click it to the left, click it to the right, so that it gets a lot more enjoyable once you do that.
It's almost like a rhythm game in that case, sort of. Interesting, okay.
And it's just, because, this is just dumb. Like, they do it so much that this gets really stupid.
Because you'd have to do suplexes and all this. Yeah. And the big problem I have about this game is that they will throw these minions at you, and we're talking at least 100 minions, sometimes like a boss.
Yeah.
And after you kill the first minion, you just rinse and repeat. It's the exact same thing over and over again. Once you get to the boss, things get interesting.
They do.
I kind of like the bosses a lot, actually.
I kind of like bosses.
I kind of like them.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have to go through all these minions and play, and like seriously, I'm yawning. I'm like,
yeah, you're like,
God.
Oh man. And the thing is, you're like sitting there daydreaming. You're like killing all these minions. Like, man, I wonder what this next boss battle is going to be like.
I hope he's cool.
I hope it's fun. I hope that it's worth this bullshit that I'm going through right now.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, there's a chest. I'm like, I guess I could get it.
Yeah, and it's not like you can just rush through the level and refuse to fight the guys. It's just like they just throw 1,000 enemies at you, and once you kill all of them, the door opens. So it's just a slog. It's just a slog.
And it's like we're playing all these amazing combat system games, like Bayonetta was really interesting. Yep. Even Darksiders was more interesting than this, right?
I think the combat in Darksiders is awesome
because it gets really complex later.
It gets way better.
It's just like I understand with the Wii, you cannot get complex. Or it's very hard to get complex when you're talking about Waggle and all this other stuff. It's just like. No More Heroes, I know the design. I know they can write a good combat system.
Yeah,
these are guys like these guys who've made some really amazing games.
Well, they could have demanded that you use the classic controller, or turn the Wiimote sideways or something
or something.
I don't know.
Or they could have gone to the PS3 or the 360.
That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine like a No More Heroes 2 on PS3? Like they could have done some shit with that.
And the combat, like if you fix the minion combat, the game would be awesome, but it's a game breaker for me.
It is because that's hours and hours and hours of game time doing pointless bullshit. And honestly, one big thing that really frustrates me in the boss battles, some of the boss battles, is the lightsaber having a health meter.
It's so obnoxious. Yeah, I hate that.
We've played a lot of video games, so I kind of understand every mechanic usually has a reason. They're like, well, if you did it this way, then it'd be too easy to do this. Like you think in your head, you're like, there's always a reason, and you think about it, and you're like, your lightsaber, you attack a bunch of people, and it runs out of juice, and then you basically just have to do this for 15 seconds to recharge it in the middle of a battle and when people are attacking you.
Can get killed.
And you get killed. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, this adds nothing, and it makes me angry. And it's just like it literally just it kills a lot of the fun for me having this happen.
But it was like so I can understand from the first time you do it, you're like, I'm making a jack off symbol to do this.
It's hilarious because it's like whacking off.
But when they do a boss, like it's one of the first bosses, second boss that you're fighting, it's just like, okay, you hit him, and then something happens, and all of a sudden all of the energy goes out of your lightsaber. Yes. You have to run to find a room.
It's the guns.
Yeah, I know.
So there's these mounted guns in the room, and when they shoot you, your lightsaber goes down.
So you have to run and find a safe spot because he's shooting missiles at you constantly. And then you do this, and you walk out, and you get by a laser again. Yeah. That happened to me 5 times in a row, and I'm like...
I was sitting there playing. Wow. I was like talking out loud to myself. I'm like, wow, this isn't fun.
I was just like, bullshit. Fuck this game. Yeah.
So and then you get other boss battles where you turn into a mech and you're like flying around the city. So I mean, like, there's stuff in there that's so good that there's such genius in this game, but it's not a well-done game.
No, because they included at least 2 or 3 game-breaking elements, which honestly they could have taken out.
Yeah, just remove them,
or at least put it on a system where you can do the interesting combat system. So from right here, No More Heroes 3 will be on PS3 360.
Okay,
so
all right. Okay, well you can't make me shake a PS3 controller. Well, I guess
you could, right?
But you're right. I mean, the thing is it's not like one of these. Like it's actually one of these things where they could have subtracted it and not even replaced it with anything. Like, seriously, the whole thing could be like a bunch of these interesting mini games that you play once, a bunch of really cool boss battles, and it's just like, take out the Wiimote shaking, take out all the minions, and it's like, say the game's 6 hours long. I would have been like, this is a great game.
Really? So just take out all the minion stuff.
Just take it out.
I mean, you're right. I mean, maybe if you did it once. If you did it once, the minion stuff, you'd be like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Boss battle, boss battle. Like, that would have been an awesome game.
Yeah.
But
this game's not good. I mean...
man, it's a chore to play through.
It is a chore. And here's the funny thing, is we're giving it a thumbs down, but I have this desire to play through it to see the creativity. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see the boss
Yeah, but you
battles.
fucking played Mad Hazard to see the creativity. So
Mad Hazard was good. Well, wait, I played Eat Lead.
Sorry, yeah, Eat Lead.
Mad Hazard can suck my dick.
But you played through a lot of really tedious... I mean, you have to admit it was tedious. It wasn't as tedious as More Heroes 2.
It was, but
you played through it.
And it earned it. Like, and I don't regret it. Like, it was one of those things where the innovation and the creativity... It was so awesome to witness.
But is No More Heroes that's the thing, because you compare. I can't fucking believe I'm comparing Eat Lead to No More Heroes. But if you had to,
yeah,
like Eat Lead wins, right?
I think so.
Right?
I mean, because Eat Lead, I couldn't stop playing it. You know, like I had this thing come over me where I'm like, I got to know what they make fun of next. This is hilarious, you know.
And No More Heroes doesn't hit that bar. I don't think so to me, because you're seriously not going to do it. Not with fucking Mass Effect and
probably
all
not.
these big games.
I feel a little bit bad saying thumbs down because, you know, it's just one of those things where I do want to see the genius of where they go with it. There's a lot of good ideas. People might rent it and they might enjoy it, but I mean, it isn't a good game. No. It isn't a well done game.
I say rent it to see the first 2 hours, really, actually, because the first 2 hours has some game ideas you'll never see in any other game.
Yeah. Seriously. I mean, just the hilariousness of the game starting out, and the girl's like, let me tell you what's happened since you last played. He's like, don't do that. Nobody gives a shit what's been happening. Don't give me the backstory in the game. Like, he's referring to it as a game. Yeah, he's just like, the gamers are going to get bored if you do that. I mean, like, this is the genius where I was playing. I'm like, this game is going to rock!
I know. And then they throw you and make you battle back.
Combat sucks.
Too bad.
So, yeah. So that is all we played this week.
We played a lot of Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, I have clocked. I'm over 10 hours now.
I'm 8 or 9, I think, at this point.
And I really want to beat it. I'm gonna beat it,
dude. Like, I'm worried because there's nothing to play really this week.
This week kind of sucks.
Yeah, so we might not have a very interesting show next week. But the week after. Oh, let's talk about what we got. What's coming out.
Yeah.
Tropico 3. You're gonna play this game, right? City Simulator.
Wait, tell me more.
City Simulator, you're like making taxes and plotting down homes for people.
It's Sim Castro.
But you can be a dictator. You can be a dick. Think about it, man. It might be interesting.
Sim Castro. SimCity sucks, dude. SimCity blows.
I know, but I kind of like them.
Are you gonna play this?
If I'm done with Mass Effect 3.
What else do you have to play?
I know, really. There seriously isn't that much. So maybe I will play this. He will not.
No, it's literally just a simulator. You know, you're a dictator. You're building up a city. You're raising taxes. You're raping people in the night. Stealing their women.
They're firstborn. You know, whatever. So
setting no pants Thursdays. You know, you can as a I would be a really bad dictator. Well, bad for everybody but me. I would have a really good time.
So you'd actually be a good dictator from the point of view of the dictator.
From the point of view of the dictator, I would be a very creative dictator. You know, I would just be like, today is left boobie out day, where girls just have to cut a hole in their shirt.
Actually, that sounds like a pretty good dictator at that point.
I would just hop on one leg day. I don't know. Everybody's like, that Tobin, he's a dick, but he's creative.
Yes, at least it's interesting and not boring.
My life is never my life is never boring.
But it's really inconvenient.
Yeah.
Fuck Tobin. It's just, why do I have to have my left ball out this time? I had my right ball out last weekend.
Curse our non-violent but inconvenient dictator.
At least I'm alive.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. I might play it. I know some NooBTooBers are kind of like saying like, yeah, Tropico. But we'll see.
I do like that every game that we ever talk about, there's somebody out there that is fucking pumped for it. Like, I gotta say, that's pretty funny. I enjoy that there's always somebody be like, you don't understand.
What was it, Rogue Galaxy? Just like, oh my god!
Rogue Galaxy, man. People came out of the woodwork on that one. They're like, this is the best RPG.
Like, really?
Like, have you played any other ones?
I don't know.
I suggest any game but this one.
Yes, like Enchanted Arms. That was better than Rogue Galaxy.
Yeah. What was Infinite Undiscovery?
Did you play that one?
I played enough.
Was it better than Rogue Galaxy?
It was better than Rogue Galaxy,
All right.
yeah, because there weren't random battles.
Oh, I know.
So next up is White Knight Chronicles.
This might be better than Rogue Galaxy.
Yeah, so 600 years in the making, White Knight Chronicles is an RPG about something with fluffy animals.
And your characters can then turn into big white knights.
Right.
Instead of turning into big robots, which is what typically most Japanese things do.
Yeah.
You turn into big white knights, which are probably robotic in nature.
Right.
More or
Hopefully
less.
there's some sex dolls.
$7,500 sex dolls.
Yeah, $7,500 sex dolls. So honestly, we've watched videos of the gameplay. It looks like poo-poo.
It looks like an MMO to me.
But given this list of games,
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna play it.
You're gonna play it.
I'm gonna play it because I gotta have something to talk about next week, or all of you will stop watching us.
Maybe we'll just recap Mass Effect 2 and then talk about. We'll say like spoiler.
Yeah,
Mass
next
Effect
week
2.
will just be the Mass Effect spoiler show, where it's like, can you believe when Jack turned into a goat and you had sex with her anyway? That was one of those red dialogue choices. Pull the right trigger, and it's just like,
turn into a goat.
Take that, Jack. You tattooed goat.
Actually, we should give some of the info, right? Because we were wondering about like what the deal is with the sex scenes.
Yeah, so
So-
being perverted 30-something men,
Yes,
we were just
which
like,
is more of a
how
scene
many
film.
things can I fuck in this game?
And like, but,
Dear Wikipedia, what can I fuck in Mass Effect 2?
I'm surprised you picked the female shepherd this time.
I did. I was curious. Like I did male
You were
shepherd.
curious, yeah.
I was tri-curious. So it was just one of those things. I was just like, fuck it. And turns out I made the wrong choice.
You totally fucked up, dude. And like the thing is, I usually play a female because I want to like see like hot fucking chick on chick action.
Wrong.
What happened?
Wrong.
What happened?
So what happened is that the male shepherd gets
everybody hot.
You read through these lists, and it's just like shepherd, people he can fuck, everyone with a vagina.
Yeah, basically.
And then it was just like female shepherd, like sweet man,
Like
lesbian
yes.
action.
Yeah, it's like I do not
It's
want
like
anyone
some
to.
gross alien dude.
Yeah,
some other dude. And
some other dude, another dude, another dude, another dude.
Yeah,
and
it,
then
it wasn't even that though. It was like 2 dudes and a chick. That's it.
no, there was like 4, I think. But anyhow, but it was mostly dudes.
And mostly dudes, and then but I mean, like then the list of sex partners for the male shepherd is like 35 people long,
And it's
just
mostly like people you're with.
He's like
and,
boning the AIs and sticking his dick in
dude,
doors.
he's boning a robot, I think. I think one of them's like
Damn
a robot
it!
alien of some.
Fucking
I have
shit.
no
So
idea.
I chose poorly, but now I'm 10
Yeah.
hours in, so I'm screwed. So I'll just watch the videos on YouTube.
Exactly.
But apparently, there's theoretically one lesbian sex scene.
and dude,
We scoured the internet.
dude.
Actually,
so what
if
do you
can
Google for?
find it, if you can find a video of the lesbian sex scene, email it to feedback
Or
at
take it
NooBTooB.com.
yourself.
Yeah, videotape it and send it to feedback at NooBTooB.com.
I bet you the dancing is still going to be the same.
Probably.
So, and the dancing is hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hot. So,
As the female shepherd, I went into a strip club and I paid a dancer.
yeah, she's there
And
totally.
She was.
But I'm sure it's the same as the other.
Yeah.
Like you want female and female alien, right?
do.
I mean, that's
do.
what you
I
want in a Mass
breast
Effect.
on breast action.
Or 3-breast,
Yeah,
ideally.
3-breasted Martian horse.
We were talking about White Knight Chronicles.
Were we?
I think so.
Is
so
this
you're gonna play
camera
it.
still running?
I don't know.
So White Knight Chronicles, I'll try it out. We'll let you know next week.
I might borrow. I don't know. Yeah, maybe next week. We'll see. I'll try to borrow
maybe
it.
we'll give it 2 weeks. Like we're only buying 1 copy of this game. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
renting it if I can. But like, yeah, we'll swap off and we'll review it later. So next up, Star Trek Online.
Yeah. So this is the MMO
Yeah.
based on Star Trek. It looks kind of wowish, just like every other one does.
Yeah. So from what we've seen in the videos, it looks like the combat's very active. They did a lot of work to get all the really cool like sound effects from Star Trek. So
Oh,
it
yeah,
looks-
they did a really
it
good job.
sounds just like an episode of Star Trek.
Yep.
And there's space battles.
Yeah, so
Which is
both,
pretty cool.
018 battles where you're down and you're fighting Klingons and tribbles and other various stuff. But yeah, the actual space combat looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, it does. I mean, so you can buy different classes of starship.
I think 3 different classes.
I don't think they go as ridiculous as EVE Online, where you're like tricking out and getting blueprints and doing whatever. But I mean, it looks like they've put a lot of work into building out this world.
Yeah.
As always, being that we're a weekly video game podcast,
we will probably never fully review a
Right.
Mass multiplayer game.
but we may do a MMO invasion. NooBTooB has not done an MMO invasion for months.
Dude, what was the last one that like the Bugabut did a really big one like a while back? I forget what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. But the thing is this game is so brand new that there's no trials yet.
Which I don't quite understand because the thing is like they really do wait. They say like,
Yeah.
okay, let's select all the Star Trek fans for about a month, and then that's when we do the 2-week trial.
But you'd think that what you would want is momentum. You'd want just as many people as possible. Like, give people the 7 days, and everyone's like, this is the shit. Like, if you trust your game to be awesome, give people a taste, and they will hop on. Because a lot of people get tired of WoW. They're like, I'm level 80.
Yeah.
I want to try something new. before the new Blizzard MMO comes out that no one knows anything about.
It's not Lich. What's after like?
No. I'm not talking about Cataclysm. I'm talking about the fact that Blizzard has announced that they're going to do a parallel MMO.
Oh, another yes. It's going to be the it's going to be the StarCraft MMO, right?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows because Blizzard is fucking tight-lipped about everything.
Yeah.
But the point is everybody likes to try new shit.
Yep.
So give us a free trial and we will talk about your game.
Yeah, and so hopefully, like at least in a month or two, we'll revisit this. But from what I've been hearing from some NooBTooBers and some other people, that they forgot the fun in this game. So it's kind of your sort of generic Star Trek on MMO.
It's like the opposite of APB, where it looks like literally nothing but fun. Like APB looks awesome,
and hopefully APB is listening to us, watching us, and they will do at least a 7-day trial. Like put your game where your mouth is, and make me want to pay $15 a month.
I'll pay. I'm telling you right now. Like I'm saying without a trial. From what I've seen of APB,
really?
when APB comes out, I will
pay, drop down $50
launch day.
Really? You have to upgrade your machine too, dude.
I probably will. That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, think about it. $15 to try it for a month compared to $60 to buy a game.
No, it's not $15. You still have to buy the game.
Oh, you're
That's
right.
the problem.
You're
so
right.
$60,
Right.
right?
Yes, they're not really doing that whole like that. That would be a business model I could get behind.
Oh, so even
free
if
download of the client, and then I would pay right away.
Yeah, that's true. But they don't want to give up that too. They're like, well, we can get the $60 because Blizzard can, so we always try to do that.
And if you get 1 million people paying $60, that's no joke, right?
Of course.
So it's like,
but it's only until the developer's saying like, oh shit, the retailers aren't carrying our stuff anymore. That's when they go fully digital. So that's gonna be a while.
Because when you play a 7-day trial of World of Warcraft, you're never paying for anything.
Did you still have to pay like at least for like
Mine's
the
free.
fee of the? I guess you're right.
I think you just go straight to monthly. Like you never pay for the game. It takes years to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have to buy the expansions.
Yeah, actually, that's right. Yeah, so
they
get you on the expansion.
That's how they get you.
Cataclysm is going to be $40, and then
apparently it's going to be the shit. So, and the next up is S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Call of Pripyat.
So we get
Pripyat.
We get a lot of shit sometimes because we reviewed S.T.A.L.K.E.R. a long time ago,
and we did not like it.
No, it was kind of slow.
Yeah.
It was really atmospheric, but it was kind of buggy.
It was
really
ghetto
buggy.
too. Like it didn't look very good, and I honestly didn't have a very good time playing it.
No, and it's just like bugs me because like a lot of the people that were really hardcore about it were PC only. So like I almost felt like it was one of those fanboy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
or they had nothing else to play.
Yeah. Well,
it's like now you guys have like that's true. But now you guys have like Modern Warfare, all this other stuff. So.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a huge thing about it. It's a PC game. I can't rent it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to wait to hear what a lot of NooBTooBers say, and a lot of people say, like, you have to play this game. They fixed all the bugs.
Right.
They fixed all the issues with the first one.
So this is actually the third in the S.T.A.L.K.E.R. trilogy. Like, there's two S.T.A.L.K.E.R. games before this, and they've gotten basically a lot of great reviews from people that have played them. So what I would normally dismiss because I didn't like the first one, I'm actually kind of tempted to check out this game just because everybody... They really do swear by it. They're like, no, seriously, you guys, this is a good game, and I trust NooBTooBers. I trust you guys to have a good taste. There's been many games that we didn't want to try that you guys talked us into, and we're just like, holy shit, you guys are right, this was good. Yeah,
and we appreciate it anytime you guys give us feedback, like write down in the comments, like let us know how good, and with enough people, we'll totally play just about anything. We played fucking Ninja Bread, man.
That's true. That was to shave some heads, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so if you played S.T.A.L.K.E.R. and you like it, please comment on YouTube or send us email at feedback@noobtoob.com. Just say tell us why we should play it because I'm on the fence. I might go out buy it.
Yeah, we're gonna. The thing is, like, we're really ready. We have about a week
sale. That's what I want. I want a Steam sale.
So it'd be like $35-$40. I'll totally get it.
Yeah.
But like, dude, like after next week, like these are the games that are next week: BioShock 2 and Dante's Inferno. So. Dude, which are you going to play first?
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's not even a hard choice.
Too.
Like BioShock 2 is going to be good, but Dante's Inferno, I'm really very, very interested where they go with it. Yeah. I want to see it's blasphemous.
I want to see the babies coming out of Cleopatra's tits.
I do. I want to see the baby tit cannon. I've had dreams like that before.
Yeah, you want baseball? No, you don't. So
I don't even know.
But yeah, so it'll be an interesting week. We will see what we play.
Yep. So we've been telling you guys about the DS giveaway. A lot of you guys sent in videos. I was so excited.
Man.
Like you guys, I think we ended up getting 8 or 9 submissions total.
At least, yeah.
And you guys sent in some great videos. Some of them were funny. Some of them were heartfelt. Some of them were weird.
Yeah, a little weird.
But we have some winners to announce.
Yes. Let's actually do it in reverse order. So we announce a bit less.
So first runner-up.
First runner-up. So we only had a DS Lite and a DS Fat.
Yeah.
But we really felt sorry for this guy.
We felt sorry for this guy. There's this guy, K-Dubs, that told us that he got in a car wreck and he owed a bunch of money.
$3,500 and he's going to college and he doesn't have a
And that was his first submission, and then Yuzo taunted him.
Well, he said, like, dude, if you give it to me, I'll go and break my Xbox controller, I'll break my iPod. No. And I'm like, dude.
You're like, no, you got to break it first.
Yeah, like, if you break it, that would have, like, sold your thing. He's
you played chicken with him.
Yeah.
So you told him, you're like, that would have sold your story if you'd broken your shit. He's like, okay, I'm going to go break my shit. And we're like, well, but there's other videos better than yours. So now we feel really bad that you went and smashed your shit with a hammer.
Yes. Granted, it was the thing is, like, it didn't make number 2.
No.
Because it was broken, and it was kind of a long video. Yeah. But it's like, he broke a busted 360 controller.
Yes, he did. He smashed his 360 controller. So as a consolation prize, third prize, first runner-up, we're going to send you a replacement Xbox 360 controller. So I've got a spare controller. I'm going to mail it to you. That is your consolation prize. Thank you for sending the video.
Yes.
Second place. Winner of a DS Fat.
Woo! Is Kieran. So we're going to show his awesome video right
now.
About now.
In a world in which technology dominates what we as humans do, perhaps something as simple as going to the toilet can be quite a hell for those who do not have the tools necessary in order to have a fun time. This is a documentary about one of the boys in that category. Sometimes he'll play an instrument. Maybe something a little bit more classical. To make up for his lack of portable handheld gaming devices, perhaps you could pretend to be playing Modern Warfare 2 in the can.
Search and destroy. Destroy the objective!
Reading is quite a nice one too. I can never get my nose out of a good novel.
Wow, those are really big. Oh, shit.
Board games are a nice addition, especially to invite the whole family in.
You're not being the banker. I'm the banker. You don't want to play? Well, fuck you then.
You could even watch the brand new episode of NooBTooB. What an excellent show that is.
You know what? Shut the fuck up! Ninja Bread Man was an excellent game. Great rule design, amazing. 10 out of 10, so...
You could even try your roll on the floor laughing comedy performance.
I actually told this joke at a bar last night, and the woman says, you clearly don't give two shits.
So hopefully, as you can see, none of these examples are fun or entertaining in any kind of way. And since Mr. Kieran does not have his own portable gaming system and would love one, but is too poor to afford one, he would greatly appreciate it. Oh, dare I say, I almost forgot. Yow.
So that was awesome, because
really
the
good.
thing is like this. The whole point of this contest was, why do you deserve a DS?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was just like, you know what? I get bored on the shitter.
Yeah, he tries everything.
He does. He
tries
tries
what he
everything.
can.
And you know what? I sympathize. I was like, I too have been bored upon the shitter.
Yes,
My heart goes out to you, sir.
You know how I don't finish that many games? I finished a lot of games. I finished Yoshi's Adventure. I finished New Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games I finished on the shitter.
And you'd like to thank your toilet.
I would like to thank my toilet and my DS that I sat. Because the thing is, it was you sit there, I'd sit, and basically it took about a month to finish some of these games. But I got a good solid amount of time.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, man, I should eat some fiber, really get in there, and
That's right. It's
I
just
feel like I haven't pooped for a while.
Exactly.
So thank you guys. Thank you very much for sending in that. The DS Fat is yours. We don't have your address, so you guys.
The two winners.
So K-Dubs, Kieran, and Ninsaru.
Oh, that is the winner!
And the winner is Ninsaru.
Ninsaru, very obvious. We're not going to show the video. You've already seen it.
Yes.
But we will do a little something special after the show.
Yeah, we'll keep watching in the show for a little outtakes.
He did a lot of work on in this video.
But anyway, all three of you guys, we're not going to mail you your prize unless we know where you live. So the three of you guys, please email to feedback@noobtoob.com your street address, and we will send you your shit.
That's awesome. So thank you very much.
Thank you guys for sending all your videos. I love when we have a contest and you guys all get really into it.
Yeah. And congratulations, Ninsaru. That was a very awesome video that you did.
Yes, and Kieran and K-Dubs.
Yep.
So we have kicklecubicle.com.
Yeah.
So
and Kicklefest as well.
Kicklefest. So the NooBToobers have been working on NooBTooB.
NooBTooB. So this is, so remember that thing, I think it was like 1 or 2 episodes ago, we were talking about like, if all we can do is just get like a Kickle emulator.
Yes.
And have a Kickle cubicle level editor, that would be so awesome, because then the entire community can get around, design their own levels.
And we both just about had a heart attack. We're just like, that would be the coolest thing in the whole fucking world. Can you imagine if somebody made a Kickle cubicle freaking level editor, like a game where people can do their own stuff? Like, because the creativity of the NooBTooB community is unparalleled. The stuff that you guys make.
And if we just imagine, like, just the potential of all this, we can like package it together, like put NooBTooB all over it, or we could even play through all the best levels at the Kickle Fest.
At the Kickle Fest, we'll bring that shit to the show, son. So the NooBToobers have started on this, so we want to give you guys moral support. If you're a programmer, if you're a graphic designer, if you're interested in helping out, go to forums and search for NooBTooB.
Yes.
So
and check out the thing, and like, thank you very much. The Bugabah is setting up all of the management. He's like organizing people, getting people all excited. You see, he has this huge document that he's posted, and then we also have Tricker, who's doing a lot of the code.
Nice.
So he's already said he knows C++. He's going to start doing some stuff. So we already got some guys rolling.
And the NooBTooB army filling in ideas.
Oh yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Please keep at it. Anything you guys have that's even halfway running, send us a beta copy. We will play it on, we'll play it and review it on the air.
Absolutely.
So, thank you guys for doing NooBTooB. I cannot wait to see it. Now comes my least favorite part of the show.
Number 84. Thank you very much, Woogie Monster, for setting this up. We have a winner. Thank you much, Lucien Lassant, for what do you win with? No, you don't know. I think it was called The Entire Fraternity Envious's Mom's Payback.
Oh, is that the subtitle?
Payback for Envious.
Nice. All right. So now he's
gotten it.
It's a revenge piece.
Yeah. So we actually don't recommend you go and find out what this is, because it's very graphic.
I'm not playing on the air either.
No, because we're going to get fired and all sorts of bad stuff. Yeah.
We'll get fired from our unpaid podcast.
YouTube will fire us.
But anyway, so fuck you, Lucien. Nobody likes you.
Won by a landslide. I think it was like 100 votes to the next one was like 3.
But so thank you guys for every week coming in, doing Photoshops. I prefer ones without knee and penis combined into a Tobin penis sandwich.
And everybody else thinks it's awesome, so keep doing it.
So put Yuzo in a dress again. We haven't had a feminine Yuzo for a while.
It's because it's not funny.
It's hilarious. It is almost okay.
Each week we like to feature the NooBTooB on the show. If you have a funny story, interesting story, or Envious' mom stories, that would be awesome. Give us a call.
You notice how Envious hasn't sent in a voicemail
since
we started making fun of his mom?
Sorry.
So you can contact us toll-free at 888-233-8480 or send your files to feedback@noobtoob.com. Also, be sure to post them as video responses to our episode here on YouTube.
Yes, keep all the responses under a minute if you want to be featured on the show.
And don't forget the yow.
Yeah, and no more questions of pick this game and this game or this. We get 3 of those every week.
That's the worst question, guys.
Yeah.
Don't say I just bought a PS3. What game should I buy? It's just we've reviewed 1 billion games. We give them thumbs up or thumbs down. We tell you why they're good. That's what this show's about.
And we have a yearly show which says the best shows, the best games to get. So
we tell you all these things.
Yes.
So first up is unknown.
Say your name, guys, and where you're from, but not from the forums. Location.
Yes,
it's a big thing.
Here we go.
Hey, you guys are talking about Super Street Fighter 4, basically an upgraded version, hopefully at a reduced price for your 360. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but they did this with Lost Planet. Released it, a year later, came out with Lost Planet Colonies Edition. All they did was increase everything in the multiplayer. They gave you more characters, more weapons, more game modes. I mean, they upgraded it out to wazoo, and they released it at a reduced price of $30. Now, for me, I bought Lost Planet 1, and I didn't buy any of the DLC, so I was like, you know what, $30, get all the DLC and all that shit, and more? Hell yeah, I'm going to buy it. I loved it. I hope people feel that way about Street Fighter 4. If they don't, that kind of sucks. But basically, you can't even play with anyone who has the original game. And they did release it at a reduced price, so hopefully you guys will be into that. Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. I mean, people just really don't like being charge full price for a game that they've already purchased. But if you're going to come out with a couple DLCs and then package them up later as a full thing, or with Super Street Fighter, you're getting 10 new characters.
The tournament mode finally.
But I think that half price is the sweet spot. Like I think that if you go above $30, you start to look greedy.
So it's going to be 40 from what I heard.
Oh, really?
Super Street Fighter 2. So
they're greedy. A little greedy. Little greedy. You're still going to buy it.
I mean, for $40, I mean, it is Street Fighter. I mean, with Lost Planet, I can understand. And they also waited much longer. With Street Fighter, there's a lot more replayability.
And you said that they've added tournament modes. I mean, it's not like they just basically threw in a couple new characters. Like they've reworked some of the networking. So I mean, they've done some work on it, no doubt.
Yeah, and I think it is going to be an interesting thing because like I'm a little worried about like the separation.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be a lot of NooBToobers who are like, oh great, Street Fighter's all exciting, but I can't play with anybody unless I've bought that. That's a little.
Yeah, that's kind of
screwed
weird. 'Cause,
up.
I mean, like, how's the multiplayer going to work if you're doing Super Street Fighter?
You can't.
You just can't play between the games. I guess.
I mean, this is my guess, but yeah.
It would make sense, right? Because if you're picking a character they don't have, what the fuck's going to happen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just see basically like the little stick figure.
It's a shadow. It's just a shadow cut out. And you're like, God, I wonder what the powers they have.
Yeah,
it's like, I got impaled. So another unknown.
Yeah.
You guys are not saying your names.
Hey, Tobin. I just noticed something. I was on Steam, and I realized that Psychonauts is only $2. So I just wanted to let you know that.
I think that my sale might be over by now.
Sadly, I think the sale is over. But the reason why we include this voicemail is just to let you guys know, gentle reminder, if you see Psychonauts on sale, buy that shit if you haven't played it. And honestly, even if it's not on sale, buy that shit if you haven't played it. Psychonauts is goddamn genius.
A couple other ways to get it. You can get it for free if you sign up for GameTap. Remember,
Yes,
it's still available there.
GameTap.
And I believe it's actually a downloadable game on Xbox Live for $10.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it was one of the full Xbox. So there's a million ways to get it. And $10, it is so worth it.
I know, but the thing is, like, as far as the recommendations concerned, I would actually recommend the one you can download because then you can use the controller. You can't. I don't believe you can use the controller. Remember, you have to use the keyboard or something stupid like that for the PC version. Remember, I tried playing it, right? And I was just like, wow, this sucks. I can't use this hooked up to a PC.
Yeah, that's true. So I would definitely recommend going to Xbox Live and buying it for $10 so you can play with an actual console.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
So yeah, and it's a reminder that Tim Schafer can make good games when he puts his mind to it.
And he can make bad games too.
And he makes really bad games too. So next up is Psycho Bitch. Isn't that your nickname in college?
I think that was yours, actually.
Hey, Tobin Yuzo, this is Stifle This here. I was just talking to some of my friends about the new Dead Rising game, and they were telling me about this duct tape feature where you can combine weapons together, and one of them goes, yeah, there's this weapon where it's called like a paddle saw, where you take an oar and then you duct tape a chainsaw to it. So basically, it's the chainsaw on a stick. So I was wondering if maybe you should call the makers of Dead Rising and ask them for some kind of rights or some kind of some monetary compensation. Just thought you guys should know. Yeah.
Yeah, did you register the trademark?
Our lawyers, our NooBTooB's team of lawyers is actually drawing up the lawsuit as we speak.
Oh, awesome.
Every time somebody kills somebody with a chainsaw on a stick, we're going to get 1 penny.
Yeah, and consider how many zombies are going to be in Dead Rising 2.
We're going to make bank.
Mm-hmm.
We invented the concept of a chainsaw on a stick.
Even though you bought that
when
at
I bought
Home
one. I invented the concept of it being awesome.
And killing zombies with it. I mean,
exactly. Other people were just like trimming trees. I'm out there like cutting bitches with my chainsaw on a stick. It's fucking sweet.
And I'm a little like, seriously, paddle saw, that's...
It's chainsaw on a stick.
Chainsaw on a stick. Really.
Chainsaw on a stick. But I do like that they've got this idea of duct taping weapons together and combining them because you know that if the zombies attack, we're gonna be doing that in the house. Like just like whatever. Like I'd be like putting like kitchen knife on a stool. Like 4 kitchen knives on a stool. Like got 4 legs, right? You're just like four zombies at once with my knife stool.
Dude, you need to read the Zombie Survival Guide. They actually give you really good ideas on what you're supposed to do.
That's true.
Like axe and crowbars.
Yeah, well, I learned that actually from World War Z too.
Yes,
World War Z is also an excellent zombie survival book. So go and get those now, kids. So now, last one. We really couldn't understand his name.
Infamous.
Don't mumble.
Hey, this is Icomus from the forums, and after watching last week's episode about your most anticipated game, I noticed from the March month you guys are missing what I think will be better than Final Fantasy 13, Resonance of Fate. It comes out the same day, March 9th, and you know, you guys never brought this game up in any of your episodes, so I just wanted to know your opinions about it. Yow.
That is not quite true.
I thought we talked about this.
You may not know this, but if you go back to our TGS Tokyo Game Show episode, we talked about a game called End of Eternity,
which is the European and Japanese name of Resonance of Fate.
So we did review that. It's weird.
I don't understand if it's like kind of a turn-based strategy game,
kind of
more action-based, but then rhythm-based.
Kind of.
Like you're shooting people.
Yeah.
Really interesting ways, but it's on a map that's pretty standard, like a game board.
Yeah, it's weird. So you're basically running around an incredibly boring-looking set of maps.
Yeah.
And you have a line, which is where you're going to move next, and you basically say, "I'm going to move here, and while I'm moving here, I want to shoot over here." And if you make your party's members' lines intersect, they do some sort of special interaction, like you pick her up and flip her in the air.
If you hit the button right when they intersect.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting.
It was interesting, and we're kind of reserving judgment because the problem is we're playing it in Japanese, and there was a Japanese person standing over our shoulder, like yelling at us and like trying to push the buttons and showing us how stupid we are, and we're just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Fortunately, there was a Japanese guy that came with a really interesting British accent.
Yeah.
That came by and explained a little bit more, but even then, it was just like, let's make it like I don't know. There was like different like ways you can
it was like the more you hammered on the button, it would like use up X number of your attack points while you're running. I mean, like, it looks interesting.
Points. Yeah, so we'll see.
It will be interesting to kind of put it head-to-head with Final Fantasy 13.
You think?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll play it when it comes out. It's very, very, very Japanese.
Yeah.
Which some of you will get very excited. Some of you will then not be interested.
Fortunately, there's a lot of us that are coming out in March, so no worries.
Yep. Including Yakuza 3.
Do you know when is that? When in March is that?
They said, I think Wikipedia says like March 18th or March 9th. It's somewhere in the early to middle of the
Man, so that's going to take you like 3 months to finish, right?
I can't wait. You're just you're going to do the show by yourself.
I know, it's just like
Tobin is like, fuck off!
What's your commentary on this game? I don't know.
Shut up! We reviewed that 3 weeks ago. So that's our show for the week. Check out our website at NooBTooB.com and participate in our forums by clicking on the big community tab at the top of the front page.
Yeah, and if you're watching the video on YouTube, make sure you click on the subscription button right over there. Also, click on the 5 stars by rubbing Tobin's upper thigh-ish, junkish elbow area. We'll see, somewhere around there. Thanks for listening. We'll see you. My name is Yuzo Watanabe.
And I'm Tobin Kozai. Our audio engineering for NooBTooB is done by Range Rockstar Cardiac Arrest Strunk. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next week, and stay away from those energy drink kids. We're out.
See ya.
Tattooed psychopath Jack. Where the hell is the muff diving button?
Dude, that's ridiculous. You're missing the entire point of the game.
Come on, Shepard. Assault the felonious bearded clam.
Oh, can we just do the show? No?
I'm going to have to memorize
I know. There's a lot of fucking...
Munch her criminal carpet.
Think about it.
Well, I've been trying for like 2 hours to get this lesbian sex scene. Damn it. Get a lesbian sex scene with that saucy little...
This is really long.
It's really long! Because I don't want to look down.
I know, you can't. All right. You ready? You got it all down? To felonious clam?
Yeah, it's...
Criminal carpets?
I got way too ambitious with the script this time.
You gotta do alliteration, too.
I did. I tried to do the criminal carpet, but I... Audacious bearded clam.
You're gonna confuse yourself.
I know.